Have you ever found yourself wondering, am I genuinely happy? Do you feel you have everything you need to experience true contentment and joy? If your answer is no, you're not alone. But you might be mistaken. You might feel unhappy. But deep inside, you already possess everything you need to find happiness. The challenge is simply knowing where to look. True happiness doesn't stem from acquiring more things or achieving more goals. Instead, it comes from looking within yourself and realizing that you are enough. In this summary, you'll learn how to tap into your inner reservoir of happiness and pave the way for true satisfaction, especially in your work life. Imagine waking up every morning feeling enthusiastic about your day, both at work and at home. Happiness at work is just as vital as happiness at home. Considering that a significant portion of your time is spent at work, it's essential to ensure that your work environment is positive so that your home life remains fulfilling and joyful. This summary will uncover the core elements of happiness and show you how to apply each principle in your work setting. If you're tired of daily complaints and ready to start feeling truly happy at work, stay with us. Together, we'll embark on a journey to transform your work life and unlock the happiness you deserve. The first step on this journey is creating your own definition of happiness. Everyone seeks happiness. It's a universal goal that drives our actions, whether we're working, socializing, or relaxing. However, happiness looks different for everyone. For some, it might be as simple as having enough to eat, while for others, it could involve buying the latest gadget. Many people struggle to find happiness in their lives, and only a few have mastered the art of achieving it. Often, people search for happiness in the wrong places. To be truly happy, you need to find your source of joy within yourself. The first step towards happiness is to honestly ask yourself if you're happy. This might sound surprising, but many people don't realize they're happy until someone else points it out. Your level of happiness is influenced by various factors, including how you feel about yourself, your relationships, and your work. It's not just about how you feel at home. Your experiences at work also play a significant role in your overall happiness. Many people are so absorbed in their work that they forget to think about their personal lives. They work long hours, often doing overtime, and spend so much time in environments that aren't right for them. This can lead to irritability and frustration when they return home. This dynamic works both ways. When the atmosphere at home isn't positive, it can negatively affect your work life as well. The key to true happiness is balancing joy across all the environments where you spend your time. You need to feel positive in every situation. Most people don't know what truly makes them happy. They just say they want a comfortable and pleasant life. But you can't be satisfied if you don't know what that means for you. You need to identify the source of your happiness. Your definition of happiness may evolve over time. At one point, it might be centered around work. At another, it could be focused on family. Beth Thomas, the author of this book, experienced such a change herself. Here's a story about how she left her dream job to stay home with her daughter. Beth was enjoying a successful period in her life, on the path to launching her own consulting firm after progressing from smaller consulting jobs. To achieve this, she needed deep expertise in the field and its techniques. So, Beth took a job at an international brokerage firm and spent the best years of her life there. She was constantly traveling, attending meetings in different countries, and was rarely home. Beth and her husband had a 3-year-old daughter, Amanda. Whenever she traveled, she would leave Amanda at her parents' house for a few days. One day, while negotiating a business deal in England, Beth called Amanda to say goodnight before bed. When Amanda answered the phone, she began crying and shouting. Concerned, Beth asked what was wrong, and Amanda said she missed her mom. In that moment, everything changed for Beth. Instead of feeling fulfilled by her job, she felt trapped and frustrated. She wanted to go home and be with Amanda. Beth realized she had been focusing on the wrong things. If she continued with her busy routine, she would miss many precious moments with her daughter, and she didn't want that to happen. Beth immediately quit her job and stayed with her daughter for as long as she needed her. At that time, her family was the most important thing to her. Many people believe that having everything will make them happy, but greed is not the path to true happiness. You need to know what you truly want and focus on the things that will bring you lasting joy. Choose happiness and make it happen. Happiness doesn't come easily. If it did, people wouldn't work so hard to find it. Happiness is a choice and an unwavering belief. Not everyone knows how to unlock it, and many people spend their lives searching for it. In this chapter, we will learn how to find happiness in our daily lives while seeking long-term fulfillment. We will explore practical techniques that can be applied to your work life. It is essential to balance your personal and work experiences. This chapter will teach you how to work and adapt while pursuing happiness. Happiness doesn't come overnight. It is a mindset and a way of living. Being driven by happiness means knowing how to navigate everything around you. You can't let any difficulty overpower you. You should embrace life as it is and appreciate what it offers you. Happy people don't always smile. They have bad days too, but they know how to look for the light. Happy people can face and adapt to unwanted changes in their lives. Your definition of happiness should be shaped by your own thoughts. Relying on others only gives them the power to decide how you feel. Let's delve into the story of Katie and her struggles at work, which stemmed from her excessive reliance on the people around her. Katie was one of the top employees in her company and an effective leader in the information systems department. After every project, Katie would send a copy of her output to two managers she was close to. They constantly praised her work and reassured her that she was doing a great job. A year later, the managers Katie depended on were transferred to different locations, leaving Katie alone in an environment where she knew no one but herself. This change took a toll on Katie. She felt lost and hopeless, and most importantly, she was unhappy. There was no one to guide her or tell her she had done a good job. Katie even considered quitting her job. However, she decided to change her perspective and find motivation within herself. In this story, you can see that Katie's definition of happiness was tied to receiving praise from her bosses. Their encouragement was the driving force behind Katie's success. When the transfer happened, Katie felt she had no motivation to continue working. That's why you shouldn't depend on others for your happiness. You should always find it within yourself. Going through difficult situations can hold you back temporarily, but the important thing is knowing how to rise above them. There are two key points to remember when facing tough times. First, understand that everything happens for a reason, and second, there is always a lesson to be learned in the end. Happiness can be found even in challenging situations. You just need to look in the right places. Here are 7 techniques to keep yourself happy even during tough times. The first technique is to be realistic as well as optimistic. You need to learn to apply both simultaneously in a challenging situation. Being realistic means acknowledging that it's okay to feel sad or angry. Being optimistic means understanding that bad feelings won't last forever. They will eventually fade away, helping you return to normal and move forward. The second technique is to be aware of how you work or behave. You control your actions, no one else. When you maintain a positive outlook, you prevent others from bringing negativity into your life. Try to manage your emotions and maintain a good attitude when dealing with others. Don't make the situation worse by adding more negativity. The third technique is to maintain a positive perspective. Don't expect the worst from others and try to trust them. Most of the time, we misunderstand people because of their actions. Try to clarify things before reacting. The fourth technique is to think about the worst-case scenario. Once you realize things are not as bad as they seem, you start to feel relief and hope. Many things can go wrong, but they haven't, so learn to be grateful for that. The fifth technique is to deal with things one at a time. While multitasking is possible, it's not always effective. People often feel overwhelmed by their emotions, especially when dealing with a problem. Taking things slowly will keep your mind clear about what you need to do. The sixth technique is to seek help from others. No one can stay alone. We all need each other's help to get through difficult times. Having a support system makes things easier and lighter for you. Your loved ones can help lighten your burden. The final technique is to meditate. People get so busy handling problems that they forget to take care of themselves. Meditating helps you reconnect with your soul and calm your body and mind. Remember, happiness is something you must choose and work towards. If others can be happy, so can you. Worrying and harboring negative thoughts are habits that can severely impact your happiness and behavior, especially in the workplace. Worrying is the first thing employees should avoid, as it hampers their success and performance in achieving their goals. This chapter will teach us how to control our worries and fears. Happiness, especially in the workplace, can be overshadowed by negative emotions. Here we will learn how to deal with these emotions. Negative emotions are a natural part of life. Everyone will feel sad, angry, or disappointed at some point. However, people often confuse these emotions with worrying. While feeling these emotions is normal, you shouldn't let them consume you, as they can affect your health and well-being. Worrying will only make you unhappy. The key to dealing with negative emotions is to learn how to control them. When faced with adversity, people tend to adopt two attitudes, either worrying about the problem or ignoring it. Neither of these approaches is healthy. The best way to approach an issue is to be aware of the problem and not let it control you. You need to accept the situation as it is and learn how to deal with it. To address this, start by understanding where your negative emotions are coming from. Sometimes people are afraid of things that might never happen. This is called anxiety. Anxious thoughts will prevent you from dealing with reality. One way to overcome this is to write down your feelings and analyze them. By doing so, you might discover that there is nothing to be afraid of. If you find yourself worrying, try the following techniques. First, write down what you're worried about. Once you see it in writing, it's easier to decide how to deal with it. Second, ask yourself why you're worried. There's usually a deeper reason behind your anxiety. Find out what it is. Third, identify what you're afraid of. Once you know the root of your fear, you can start thinking about how to tackle it. Fourth, consider the worst-case scenario. Sometimes, knowing the worst outcome can help you prepare and reduce anxiety. Finally, talk to someone you trust. Sharing your worries with a friend can help you gain a new perspective and feel less alone. By understanding the cause of your worries and applying these techniques, you can start to alleviate your anxiety and maintain a more positive outlook on life.